Well, through the first 8 games, Rodney, we both got Alabama going 8-0 as the Tide looks for a 3rd consecutive undefeated regular season. Game number 9, though, could be a tough one. Down in Death Valley against LSU. How do you see it?
Well, again, we talked about it's going to be a physical battle, but I think, again, Alabama, the coaching is superior to Alabama. I think Alabama beats LSU again in Baton Rouge.
You know, Rodney, as we sit here tonight, of course, now if something happens with Marcel Darius, it could change the whole complexion of the season. But as we sit here tonight, I just don't think Alabama's going to get through unscathed. I think they got a tremendous football team. They have an opportunity to win every time they line up. But to go undefeated 3 years in a row in the SEC, we know how difficult that is. I'm going to go with LSU here. I just think it's the timing will be right for the Bayou Bengals. I think they've got a very talented team. I think that they're going to bounce back a little bit from what they had happen last year, and I'm going to pick LSU there. I guess we consider it a slight upset. Okay, let's move on. Alabama, Mississippi State, and Bryant-Denny.
Once again, Alabama's the superior team, Gary, and I just don't think that – and again, we're looking at this much in advance, obviously. But, Alabama should win the game. I'm going with Alabama at home.
Yeah, we do it week by week during the season. I always reserve the right to change my mind based on what happens during the season. Right now, though, yeah, obviously I think Alabama's a better team than Mississippi State playing at home. The Tide wins that one. No need to waste a lot of time on the next one. Alabama, Georgia State.
Man, I mean, how big of a win would that be for Bill Curry if he kept it within 5 touchdowns?
Yeah, a better prediction is to predict whether or not Georgia State will score. Right now, I lean toward the fact that they won't. We both like Alabama. And then the big one against the Auburn Tigers.
Well, let me tell you, Gary, 2 years ago or in 2008, it was 36-0. Last year, Alabama had to win in the end. I think this one kind of falls somewhere in between. Alabama, a better football team than Auburn, better coach team than Auburn. Alabama beats Auburn again.
I like Alabama. I mean, they survived down there last year. I think this year, I'm not going to say it'll be an easy game, but I think Alabama will win at home. Okay, Rodney, real quickly. I'm ready to get the phone calls because if you don't pick on this show, if you don't pick Alabama to win them all, you're going to catch some flack. But it is tough to go undefeated. And even though you got Alabama going 12-0, you're worried about the Arkansas game real quickly.
Very, very much so, Gary. I talked about that earlier. And again, if you lose Marcel Darius, what a pass rusher you're losing, what a force you're losing on the defensive line. But that's the game that probably scares me the most early on.
All right, but as of right now, I'm picking the Tide to go 11-1. You're picking them to go 12-0. And that's the great thing about right now. We all got an opinion. We'll have to see what happens during the season. And, of course, what happens with Marcel Darius. We'll have a lot to say about Alabama's year because he's a dominant defensive lineman. All right, it's dinner time. Tonight we head back over to Buddy's Rib and Steak in Northport. I'm ready to chow down. We'll see you there at Buddy's. Love it when some of you folks come out and join us for dinner. Do so tonight. And don't forget, if you missed any of tonight's show, John Huddleston will have it up on the web tonight, WVUATV.com. We'll also have a replay tonight at 10:35. So for Rodney Orr, John Huddleston, and our entire TITV staff, I'm Gary Harris wishing you a good Tuesday evening, and we'll see you back here again next week.